I'm at 1222 Bridgewater Drive in Westchester, PA. And I'm on the roof of a split level property. You can see it's an older roof. Certainly has time left though, at least 5 years, maybe more. As we look at this roof, we see a couple things. The vent collars are neoprene right here. You can see they're starting to crack. And this is typical of an older roof. These are going to just continue to crack and start to leak at all these pipe penetrations. You've got 1, 2, 3. That one's much worse down there. And 4, just on the back slope. You can see this one is inverted, where the flashing's tucked down now. And this is, I mean, that's leaking right now. It's just not showing up in the living space. It's following a pipe down inside of a wall and never really making itself visible. So the pipe collars need to be replaced, and that's not a big deal. You get some Velox skylights up here. You get one on the back here, one on the front. And they have, well, they're a superior skylight to begin with. They're just a very well-made skylight. And typically, they'll perform well for the life of the roof. This one, however, has seen some caulk back in here and up here. This is not something that's normal to these skylights, and it's been caulked all the way around the perimeter. So at this point, you just kind of leave it alone until it starts to act up. But that's not typical, it's not normal. So it either leaked in the past, or when it was installed, someone just did that as an extra measure. The glazing system itself looks to be like it was also hit with some extra sealant. And you know, nothing alarming, but something to keep an eye on. Certainly when you do the roof over in 5 to 10 years, you're going to want to do these over as well. You wouldn't want to hook them up to a brand new roof. They're just not going to perform as long as a new roof would. This recessed area in the center has aluminum flashing down where the roof meets the sidewall, and then it has, this is an aluminum fascia. It's been covered as a rake board, but that's the sidewall itself down there. It's just been fully covered. Behind that, there's step flashings that integrate the roof with the sidewall. Now that's what they have in this center recessed area of this roof. You can see the location of that. It's right in the middle of the front slope, main front slope. But on all the other wall elevations, they have plaster, and the plaster is on stucco on a frame wall. You can see we have that here, and again, you got a lot of caulk down where the roof meets the sidewall. That's all caulked, and you see you have that everywhere. You have it on this garage dormer sidewall, and on this back main sidewall. And here's where we start to see, probably, if this was my property, my most concerning issue would be these sidewalls. These sidewalls are starting to crack up. You can see this is all chipped out. This has been caulked. It's been caulked all the way down the line there, and you can see the cracking starting in the wall itself, and that's a giant red flag there. You've got cracks all the way up in here that are really substantial. I mean, they're not minor cracks. Certainly water's getting in there, and it continues to blow the wall off. You know, when you tap on it, you can hear it's hollow. This is on a frame structure. It's not masonry, it's a frame wall. And as water gets in and freeze-thaw cycles hit it, it just continues to separate from the wall. So this sidewall here is something you're going to have to do when you do the roof. I think you can nurse it along until the roof is necessary. And the reason you want to do them at the same time is this was never really properly designed. And this is typical of new construction throughout the ages. Whoever designed this roof has the roof, or I'm sorry, designed this building, has the roof going right into this wall. And instead of a dedicated flashing system, where you have a step flashing that goes up, and then a counter flashing that's integrated with the wall that comes out and over and down the step, that's how it should have been. Instead, what you have is a roof that butts right into a finished wall, and the step flashings are buried behind this plaster. So it's impossible to re-roof this anyway with step flashings because they're all buried behind the plaster. When you do this, you're going to have to cut this out at least. Even if this wall was in good condition, you'd have to cut this out at least this high to get new steps in, and then to put a proper counter on here. And then, you know, if the wall was in good condition, you could save this for the next 20 or 30 years of roofing. But the way this wall is, this wall's just got to be corrected, replaced with siding or something. And at that time, that's when you put a dedicated flashing system in down here, so that when you do the roof the next time, and I always do backwards math now that I'm almost 60. You know, you want to figure out you know, your lifespan versus your investment. But when you go to do this roof the next time, you're going to want to have a dedicated flashing system here that won't involve messing with this wall the next time you do the roof. So that's simply, you know, that's just a good design. This is a poor design, the way this was built, but it's not abnormal. It's really typical of new construction. Look at some of these other plaster surfaces. You can see more of the same. You know, this is all caulked here at the chimney. You don't have a dedicated flashing system there. And neither over here. And you can see the cracking is prevalent over here as well. This is a giant crack right here. And this one is definitely letting water in because this is pronounced out. The bottom crack is out. Water coming down this wall is getting right into this crack. And you've got more cracking down in here. You see all this cracking going on at these sidewalls, which is not at all good. If this was my property, this cracking plaster stucco would be my first priority. That would be my biggest concern. Wouldn't have anything to worry about with the roof. It's a very vanilla roof. It's big and it's multi-sloped, but it's not complicated in terms of inherent problems. You see you got more caulk back here, and this will show. This is a base flashing right here, this aluminum, and this base flashing goes up under the stucco, and then the stucco comes down over top of it. So the plaster is acting as a counter flashing here again. It's just not a good design. Another Velox back here. Looks like it's a little newer. This might have been a later addition. This little offset back here. But yeah, and the gutters. You can see the gutters have fasteners every 3 feet, which is not good. You know, we're already see. I can't quite see in the screen here, but looks like you got maybe a fastener here and another one way down here. And having fasteners 3 feet on center, and those are really the wrong fasteners. Those are spikes and furls. They're not good fasteners. They're just maintenance nightmares, basically. So you want to get your fasteners a little closer next time you do the gutters, and you want to get the right fasteners. Around out front here. You know, the trees are a problem. You got a couple of paper birches that are just loading those gutters up with debris, I'm sure. And clump birch or whatever it is, it's not good. I mean, the trees, branches are rubbing against the house. You really want to cut them back when you can. Down here, more plaster cracking. Right down in here, not good. Shingles show a little wear out here. You know, you got a little granular loss going on, but not abnormal. Pretty typical of a roof this old. And if it was my house, my roof, I'd be looking to get 5 more years out of it. Start the budget for roofing 5 years from now. You know, I mean, that's how I would look at it. I think you can ride this out for 5 years. Maybe do the vent collars, get them straightened out, and start developing ideas for the sidewalls. You know, aesthetic and practical. What looks good to you and what works. Pretty simple. Top of the chimney looks okay. Cap looks like it sounds, not all cracked up. A little bit of plaster loss up top, but not much. Looks pretty healthy.